Cosmopolis is an artistic and scientific exhibition about cities and urban development. It is also an exhibition about the look, a look that one can have on the city, on one's environment, that is discovered through traditional observation binoculars. Here we are actually using virtual reality binoculars. These binoculars have been conceived for the exhibition. They enable us to look at 360 degrees and to go far into details by zooming in the image. These panoramas are made of 50 pictures stitched together. This is very high resolution image, rich in details, that is proposed to the visitors. 12 cities around the world are presented through 12 binoculars. 5 panoramas per city provide a contrasted vision of these 12 urban realities. They enable us to understand the issues of urban development as people experience it all around the world. These are not tourist panoramas, but points of view on the city and issues rising from them. These panoramas help us to understand the problems, also help us to find out the solutions that have been chosen by the largest metropolis. The 12 binoculars constitute a large circle at the basis of the apparatus. Going from one city to another means walking around the planet. At the center of this 25-meter diameter circle, a large panorama made up of 12 screens offers a single image and simulates a full vision centered on the visitor. There, we can see the exhibition test performed at Villa Coublay in February 2005. The central panorama is made of 4 by 3 meter screens separated from one another. This really is a unique and continuous image. Cosmopolis is a world city created by the visitor's experience. Discovering the urban panoramas through binoculars, the visitor stops on the most surprising elements, the most unexpected and the most contrasted one, or even on the ones he recognizes. He is at the center of a world which offers itself for reading. Like the world city mixing its origin, blending their identities, Cosmopolis is the city created by the spontaneous action of visitors, the city created by the looks. Cosmopolis relies on the concept of collective retinal memory. What we are watching, what we are staring at, gradually paints itself on the central panorama. The binoculars capture the movement of the look and lays it down at the surface of the screen, as airbrushes or Tagger paint spray would do it. On the screen, the looks are blended together to constitute a dynamic and fugitive vision of a constantly evolving world city. That is a palimpsest on which is written the transient memory of the urban experience. The collective retinal memory has already been the object of several works. Art Impact, collective retinal memory, presented at the Pompidou Center in 2000, helped the visitor to discover a contemporary art exhibition about beauty in Avignon, thanks to virtual reality binoculars. The path of the look and the different places in Avignon, from the most banal, the slaughterhouse, the supermarket, to the artwork, competed at the surface of the screen in terms of retinal seduction. Presented at the Future Cinema exhibition at ZKM, So is a narrative version of the collective retinal memory, where the story is written according to visitors' looks. Step by step, looking from one place to another, we discover daily scenes which conjure up the beginning of a narrative, close to the writing of our own story. Cosmopolis is a twofold exhibition and an artistic and scientific one. The intuitive approach of the collective retinal memory alternates with the decoding of the city by scientists, sociologists, city planners, architects, artists. On the central panorama, the scan replaces a city of looks by an urban panorama coming from the binoculars. 3 points of view on each city follow one another to create a decoded perception of urban development issues. Several scans superimpose text, photos and videos onto the panorama. The scientific interpretation then replaces the physical experience of watching. To finish the decoding of 3 panoramas of one city, the last scan reveals 12 full-screen videos that constitute an acoustic and visual synthesis of the social, environmental, and cultural diversity of the city. The music part by Jean-Baptiste Barrière is conceived to match the visual concept. Each city has an acoustic and musical signature, composed by sound surroundings captured on location, noises of the city, bits of languages, and also by an harmonic color, a code representing the musical identity of each city. Discrete and specific musical events complete the acoustic elaboration of the scene. The scanner effect is announced by the musical signal that is unfolding in the space all around the public on the 12 loudspeakers laid out between the screens. During the aesthetic experience of the collective retinal memory, the looks traces going through the city are also acoustically projected into the space. The acoustic and musical atmospheres of the different cities are superimposed and melted together, in proportion of each city's contribution to constitute the rumor of the world city. Though the device is circular, Cosmopolis is constructed in time to privilege a visitor's path through the different steps of the installation. The visitor first discovers, on the central panorama, Cosmopolis as it is being painted. In between the screens, 4 sees other visitors manipulating the binoculars. Then, he explores by himself one of the cities. Attracted by the first scan, he comes to participate to the decoding of urban panoramas. When the city of looks comes back, he returns to the binoculars to continue his world tour. He goes towards the center when new readings are announced, and goes on with his tour on the binoculars. According to the alternation of moments, the visitor returns for another city decoding. He can then go over the major part of the documents proposed by Cosmopolis.